Compost is manufactured from organic matter and its main use is to fertilize soil and farmlands. In turn, it is the most complete and complex manure that exists in the market. Chemical manures or synthetic ones are just artificial concentrates of chemical substances. On the opposite, the compost composition is quite different, since the origin is natural. However, its greatest advantage over the other type of manures is that it has nutrients that form complex networks alongside more organic molecules, thus so favoring the liberation and absorption of nutrients from the plants and vegetation in general. Chemical composition of compost: it is formed from chemical elements that are used as nutrients for all types of vegetables. These elements can be grouped into two types and are vital for a good growth. The macronutrients. They are needed in most quantities. Nitrogen. It's part of the structure of amino acids, thus it's essential for synthesis of proteins. Also is part of the structure of funcionchloroplast responsible of photosynthesis. Phosphorus. Its main function is being part of the energetic molecule ATP. Further is part of the structure of the DNA. Potassium. It is needed to regulate the functions of the plants, also transport simple carbohydrates through the plant's tissues, so it is the key element for the fruit development. Calcium. It is fundamental for the creation of cellular walls of the plants. Magnesium. It is part of the chlorophyll, the molecule that gives the green color to vegetables, and also it works to metabolize and absorb phosphorus. Sulfur. Its role is structural and functional. It forms part of the amino acids, and in turn, of the proteins and the enzymes, enabling the chemical reactions in the plants. The micronutrients are trace elements. Elements such as boron, chlorine, copper, nickel, manganese, molybdenum, zinc and iron are considered essential micronutrients for the development of vegetables. Plants need them in less quantity, otherwise it can produce phytotoxicity. They fulfill a great variety of structural, enzymatic, photosynthetic, hormonal functions, among others. Composting basics. All composting requires 3 basic ingredients. Browns. This includes materials such as dead leaves, branches, and twigs. Greens. This includes materials such as grass clippings, vegetable waste, fruit scraps, and coffee grounds. Water. Having the right amount of water, greens, and browns is important for compost development. Your compost pile should have an equal amount of browns to greens. You should also alternate layers of organic materials of different sized particles. The brown materials provide carbon for your compost, the green materials provide nitrogen, and the water provides moisture to help break down the organic matter. What to compost? Fruits and vegetables, crushed eggshells, coffee grounds and filters, tea bags, nutshells. Shredded newspaper, shredded cardboard, shredded paper, yard trimmings, grass clippings, houseplants. Hay and straw, leaves, sawdust, wood chips or fireplace ashes. What not to compost and why? Black walnut tree leaves or twigs. Releases substances that might be harmful to plants. Coal or charcoal ash. Might contain substances harmful to plants. Dairy products, such as butter, milk, sour cream, yogurt, and eggs. Create odor problems and attract pests such as rodents and flies. Diseased or insect-ridden plants. Diseases or insects might survive and be transferred back to other plants. Fats, grease, lard, or oils. Create odor problems and attract pests such as rodents and flies. Meat or fish bones and scraps. Create odor problems and attract pests such as rodents and flies. Pet wastes, dog or cat feces, soiled cat litter. Might contain parasites, bacteria, germs, pathogens, and viruses harmful to humans. Yard trimmings treated with chemical pesticides. Might kill beneficial composting organisms. How to compost at home. There are many different ways to make a compost pile. We have provided the following for general reference. Helpful tools include pitchforks, square point shovels or machetes, and water hoses with a spray head. Regular mixing or turning of the compost and some water will help maintain the compost. Backyard composting. Select a dry, shady spot near a water source for your compost pile or bin. Add brown and green materials as they are collected, making sure larger pieces are chopped or shredded. Moisten dry materials as they are added. Once your compost pile is established, mix grass clippings and green waste into the pile and bury fruit and vegetable waste under 10 inches of compost material. Optional. Cover top of compost with a tarp to keep it moist. When the material at the bottom is dark and rich in color, your compost is ready to use. This usually takes anywhere between 2 months to 2 years. Indoor composting. If you do not have space for an outdoor compost pile, you can compost materials indoors using a special type of bin, which you can buy at a local hardware store, gardening supply store, or make yourself. Remember to tend your pile and keep track of what you throw in. A properly managed compost bin will not attract pests or rodents and will not smell bad. Your compost should be ready in 2 to 5 weeks. Check out my other video on the benefits of compost in your garden to find out more.